Here we are again. It is the Role Players Podcast. And we are ready for everything steady. I am with my main man, philosophical Mr. Know-It-All Jay. And then you have me, the host, or co-host, or however, Mr. B, Byron, the role player. And once again, we're here talking about all of your sports questions and all of your hms and ha's. If you don't know, you can catch this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and Spreaker, home of the role players. And don't forget to find us on Facebook. Yeah, we have a group there. And then you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, _players. We are ready to do this thing, Jay, but I'm going to tell you who's not ready, man. Your 49ers, man. What was that, man? What was that?
I mean, I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, first of all, I'm starting to think I'm never going to go back to winner's row.
Yeah.
That's what it's feeling like, man. I mean, I can't buy a game in fantasy. I'm kind of getting frustrated, you know. Me and you were talking last night after the 49er game, and I think you thought I was kind of going in. But nah, man, you know. It's just I've thrown out all the bullets. I've thrown out all the bullets in the fantasy football. I'm sitting here cussing out Shanahan. But most of all, I don't know what the hell that was last night. The NFL really dropped the ball, man. NFL should have postponed that game to maybe Saturday night. I don't know. Tomorrow. But tomorrow is Saturday. Sunday. Maybe Monday night. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know how they should have did it, but somehow they should have postponed that game because Kendrick Bourne popped up on Tuesday. Tuesday, he popped up with a positive testing. And it was a negative. It turned out to be a negative test. It was asymptomatic, a false test. And we were down all our wide receivers. And last night was just was a terrible outing, man. I don't know what to say, man. We're going to get some guys back next week against the Saints. We'll get Debo. We'll get Mostert back. Maybe some of the guys on defense. But I got some interesting takes on the Niners and how I can turn 3 teams into Super Bowl contenders.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Because I feel after last night, I feel like I can be the GM. Hey, Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock. Hey, call me up, bro. Call me up. I can be a GM. I could be a GM on one of your first franchises with your new XFL. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, that's a tall order, Jay. That's a tall order, man. I was watching that game, man, and I was just floored in laughter because I was watching Aaron Rodgers discount double check his way down the field. And I was like, State Farm might need to take that thing back from Chris Paul, a.k.a. Cliff Paul, and give that thing back to Aaron Rodgers, man. Take it away from Mahomes, man. Because that guy was discount double checking all over the place. I mean, you needed insurance just to be a fan watching the game if you're a 49er. That was a blowout. And I do understand that most of the team was out and that, you was no Kendrick Bourne and no Debo and no Brandon Ayuk. Richie James had a decent game, but This looked like a team that can use an infusion at the quarterback position because I'm I'm tired of this Jimmy G guy, man. You know what? I'm gonna call him Garoppolo. You don't get Jimmy G. You know, Jimmy G sounds like the guy that comes in the room and they say, "Hey, Jimmy's here, man. Hey, little Jimmy from around the block. You know, Jimmy G." No, 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 no. This guy is Garoppolo, because
That's very.
he puts me to sleep, man. I'm just I don't know what to think about the guy. You know, he was the cream of the crop some seasons ago. It was a big debate about, oh, do they move on from Tom Brady in New England and move on with Jimmy G? But now he's just Garoppolo. And I don't want any parts of it, man. He's really, really, and I mean really rubbed me the wrong way. And you know, because you're my broski, because you're my guy, I watch a lot of 49ers football, and every time I watch Jimmy Garoppolo, it's just no it's well not every time. It's just a big question mark that looms in my head as to how much longer can we watch Garoppolo do this thing? And I just don't know, Jay. I just don't know. I don't know if a quarterback is in the green room or in the Zoom room during the draft if his name flashes up and they say, hey, the 49ers have taken their future quarterback. I just don't know. But I know that I'm tired of it. For you, man. For your sake. For your sake.
Well, I think the bigger issue is the 49ers is paying 80.5 million. They have paid 80.5 million to players that has been on the injured reserve. That's your salary cap for the for the 2020 season. I mean, that's the big issue that's at hand. So, I mean, yes, Jimmy G is definitely he's definitely need to stay healthy. But I think I'm going to play GM right now.
Oh,
I'm going to be the GM of the 49ers. So look, when I'm done, Shanahan, you owe me a nickel. You owe me $5. And you got to put me on the payroll or something, man, because I know what I'm doing when it comes to coaching. And I got the quick fix that'll change my 49ers and to save his job years down the road. Because brother, you have one winning season since you've been in the 49ers, man. And you just got a new 6-year extension. So he got to win, and he got to win now. So Jimmy G is going to cost these guys 27.5 million to keep him on the roster next season. So the issue is we need a bridge quarterback. The 49ers need a bridge quarterback. To those who don't know what a bridge quarterback, that's a guy who can come in and keep it hot until your starter is ready to play. So where do we find a bridge quarterback at? So I've heard I've heard Matthew Stafford, I've heard Matt Ryan, I've heard Sam Darnold. None of those guys really make sense to me. So I got two trades that'll change the 49ers around, and it'll help out two other franchises as well. You mentioned Mr. Rogers, correct?
oh yeah.
Okay. Rogers is getting a little long in the tooth. He's 37 years old. Boy, Rogers would look good in a 49er jersey.
Oh,
can you imagine Rogers with that talent out there?
sick.
It would be sick, wouldn't it? But I don't think Rogers would fit on this team right now. Not with his ego and then Kyle Shanahan's ego. So I'm going to put myself in the position of John Lynch. So the first thing I would do when the season ends, I would pick up I would either pick up Nick Mullins' option, or, and you're gonna like the or, if you're not enthused with Nick Mullins, and these guys also picked up Josh Johnson today. That was very interesting. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do, but I would either pick up Nick Mullins' option, or I would go and find me a quarterback that's able to be a bridge quarterback. And I got the perfect guy for you who's going to be a free agent. He's going to cost little to nothing. Jameis Winston. You sign Jameis Winston to a 1-year deal and you put him in this offense and you see what he can do. That's if you don't want to bring back Nick Mullins. And then you take Jimmy G and you call up your Jacksonville Jaguars. You call up your Jacksonville Jaguars and you say, hey, man, give me a second round pick.
No,
Give me a second round pick for Jimmy G. And you get to keep your first round pick, right? You get to keep your first round pick. And you get to build your team around Jimmy G. Because Jimmy G does good when he has no pressure on him. I mean, when he came to San Fran, he was just throwing the ball around the field. It looked like he was playing pitch and catch with those guys. And he was throwing to Marquise Goodwin and Pierre Garçon. Are you kidding me? He looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback. And then the pressure started. He could go to Jacksonville, turn around their fortune. You already have some targets to throw the ball to, and you get your franchise quarterback for the next 4 to 5 years. Or, he could be a bridge quarterback for you guys for the next 2 years. Which brings me to San Francisco's future franchise quarterback. We're going to help out the Green Bay Packers and their Aaron Rodgers issue they have going on. Because Aaron Rodgers is outplaying himself. To the quarterback, they put pressure on him. And the only way to fix that and not remove Aaron Rodgers is for San Francisco to offer a first round pick for Jordan Love, and him and Jameis Winston or him and Nick Mullins can compete for the starting job next season. How you like that, bro?
Bunkers.
I'm bunkers. They have to do something with Jordan Love, dog. I mean, Jordan Love right now, okay, he's going to have to play in the next 2 to 3 years, correct? He has to play before the 3rd year. Right?
No.
Why not? You have Aaron Rodgers, so you got to see what this guy has before his contract comes up. You have to. That's why you drafted him in the first round. But at the rate that Aaron Rodgers is going, it doesn't look like, they would be almost fools to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. Even though they need an infusion of talent, but they'll be fools to get rid of Aaron Rodgers and to go with Jordan Love right now. It just wouldn't make sense. So you take that first round pick, you either bring in talent or you go get a quarterback. That gives Aaron Rodgers 2 to 3 more years. He's 37, man. So in 3 years, Jordan Love may not be the answer for the Green Bay Packers. But you got to let this guy play.
Jay?
How do you feel about Jimmy G with your Jags?
Jay, I feel as if you're fired before you're hired. I don't see the Jacksonville Jaguars signing up for another deadbeat, as they've done time after time again, when they're probably going to be sitting at the 2 or the 3 spot. They're going to have their preference of quarterback. They're going to have the creme de la creme, my friend. They can do almost anything at that position. And there's little to nothing that can be offered to make them say, I wonder if. No, there's no wondering this time. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields.
But But what if you guys do not land the number 1 or 2 pick? Zach Wilson and Trey Lance is not capable of running the NFL franchise. Not fresh. I mean, Zach. Do anyone even know that Zach Wilson has been playing in college already 3? So what did he do? Go check his numbers the first 3 years of his college career. So he's just jumping on the scene. Sounds a little Mitchell Trubisky-ish.
Where
So what are you going to do if you don't get Justin Fields?
where
Or
are the Jaguars gonna get another win this year? Huh? Where?
you guys are going to win this Sunday
You're insane.
against the Texans. You're going to split with the Texans. The Texans is not that good, brother. You're slighting Jacksonville a little too much, and you're giving the Texans a little bit too credit. You think those guys are going to sweep you off?
Yes.
No way, Jose. You tripping.
What did
man.
Big Boy tell you? What did Big Boy tell you? They say, what's the state of the Jacksonville Jaguars down there? And then I say, they're dead.
No,
They're dead.
you had a hard week. You had a hard week at work this week.
No, I had a great week, man. Great.
Because you seem a little tired. You seem a little lethargic. Maybe you need to lay down and think about it. Because I do think you guys are going to win this week.
No, I feel great. If anything, I'm feeling lethargic about is that mollywhopping last night, man. I mean, I felt like I felt like Rudy Giuliani with the Packers last night. I was like, stop the count. Stop it. Just stop the count. Please stop.
I mean, that was the 49ers practice squad, man. Come on, man. That was our third string players. And Kyle Shanahan made some bad moves. Man. He tinkered with the line. He wasn't prepared for that game. He said he wasn't prepared. He said he hit rock bottom. Actually, from Kyle Shanahan's mouth, he said he called his dad Wednesday night. The first phone call was, I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now when it's coming to players. And then he found out about Kendrick Bourne's positive test. His false positive, basically. And then he said that NFL never contacted anyone and said, we're thinking about possibly sitting his game back. Never contacted. So he knew then he was going to play. So he called his dad back for some advice and said, okay, now I'm at rock bottom. So he already knew, man. It was bad preparation. Got to take that loss and move on and get ready to beat the Saints. Because, brother, we're only a game out of the last spot. We're a game out of the last spot. If they go to a 8-team playoff, we'll be in right now. It's crazy, huh?
I mean, yeah. It's crazy, but this guy has got to stop calling his dad, man. He's got to stop calling him. There's no reason to call dad, man. Mike Shanahan can't help him. Stop calling dad.
I don't know, man. I kind of like that, man. Because,
last night, dad didn't help him last night.
I mean, dad could help him last night, bro.
No one could.
Well, nothing he could do. They gave us a raw deal, but man, guess you got to move on.
Well, I mean, that's your GMing, and I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen crazier things, but I can tell you, I can rest assured rest assured, man, you're not getting a call from the Jaguars. They don't even do business the right way. The Jaguars would never take an offer because they just don't do that. That's just not what they do. The Jaguars say, we're going to draft this guy and he's going to be Hall of Fame or nothing. A lot of times it lands on the side of nothing, but it's Hall of Fame or nothing. So I don't see that happening, but hey, I like your style as a GM.
Yeah, we can send them back to New England as well. They'll take them too.
Oh, man. I don't believe Bill. I don't believe he's going to. I don't think he's going to take him back.
Hater.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can't wait to see when you're a GM.
I don't know where this girl. Oh man, I'm gonna be like the Ravens GM. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna be up there in the GM Hall of Fame.
So you're Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome, the Costa. I'm gonna be both of them all in one. They're gonna call me Ozzie DaCosta, man. I'm gonna be willing and dealing. Yeah.
They're gonna call you Marvin Lewis.
No, they're not gonna. Well, Marvin Lewis is probably one of the most tenured coaches of all time. So if you want to put pockets on top of pockets of money in my pocket, I'll take it. I'll take it, man. Marvin Lewis has to be the greatest criminal in American history. That's what he.
No, the greatest criminal in American history. Real quick, right off topic, man. Did you see what the Red Sox did, bruh? Like, come on, man. Baseball is a freaking shame.
Yeah, who did they hire?
They hired Alex Cora.
That is bogus.
Didn't they? They fired him because of the Houston scandal. He was suspended from Major League Baseball, and they need a manager. And they said, "Okay, man, let's go back and do what we did before."
That is.
I can't believe that, man.
They said, look. The headlines are all about the election. No one's going to see this Alex Cora thing, man. They're not going to see it. Bring him back immediately. Bring him back. We're going to go ahead and sign him, and no one's going to see him. It's breaking news. Oh, jeez. Well, they'll forgive us because everyone's focused on the election. But no, man, how can you let the guy go when the MLB is putting all this smoke and fire around you? And then you say, he's learned his lesson. He needs to come back under the fold. No, this is bogus. Baseball.
They really let Houston off the hook.
Man,
and everyone that was involved in it. Someone will do that again in the next 5 years. I can guarantee.
This whole thing, like you said, was a sham. Houston, all of a sudden, they're forgiven and they're in the playoffs and they're, oh man, Houston's playing great ball. They're a tough team to beat. The hell you say? They're cheaters forever. Then you have Alex Cora. You had the Red Sox. Oh, we don't condone that type of behavior up here. We have to let him go. Only to bring him back after the Corona season. This guy he wasn't even gone for a year. Come on, man. Cut.
Well, I guess 2020 is the year of the cheaters, man, because Trump is definitely trying to cheat his way back into the election.
I'll say this because, we don't really get political on this show. But, man, Donald Trump should go down in history, man. Respect this man. This man has been one of the most entertaining men in the business for the past 4 years, man. This dude is entertaining. He even had his little puppet. Did you see his little puppet, Rudy Giuliani, out there? He was, oh man, Giuliani was going, we're not stupid. We're not fools. Guys, look, everyone takes a beating. What did Pop say in Friday? He say, you put that gun down, son. Put that gun down. You got to put these up. You live to fight another day. Like Trump just got to fight another day, man. Go back and start some businesses and bankrupt them. But I will say this in all seriousness. Now, I know a lot of times you hear me in character and stuff, but I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. Before Trump leaves office, he needs to send me my second Corona check. Okay? I need it. Go ahead, man. He personally signed the letters the first time, and he was like, Donald J. Trump, I sent out Corona checks. I need that second check, man. I need that second check. I don't know if Biden and Harris will give me that check, but I know Donald will. I need the Donald Duck check. Quack, give it to me. Because, man, the first time, oh, man, let me tell you, America. I feel like Bernie Mac, man, America. I was having seafood boils damn near every week.
I believe it, though.
Man, that Corona money needs to be right on time for Thanksgiving or something, man. They've forgotten it. They've gotten lost in the sauce of counting votes, man. Give me that check. But they're not the only ones that's stopping the count, man, because Jay has had the count stopped in the win column during fantasy football. But hey, we all have rough patches, and especially with this pandemic season, it's a little tough, man. It's a little tough. You never know who's going to come up with the cough and the tickle in their throat and cause you to have to put them on injury reserve, or you have to put them on your bench. But I will still vouch for Jay and say his fantasy football knowledge is quite spectacular. You haven't heard him on the Fantasy Voyage because, well, the Fantasy Voyage is under construction for the moment. We're going to come back full swing, next season, we're going to be voyaging all across the Mimi, man. We're going to be voyaging all across the Mimi. But this guy, man, he's taken several lumps, and so have I. Don't let me fool you. I've taken lumps. Okay, lumps. But man, Jay, I want to hear what you got on deck this week as far as some of those fantasy gems, man. I want to hear it.
Wow, man. I mean, in one of our leagues, man, I'm winless, bro. I'm 0-7-1.
Sheesh.
The other one I'm fighting, and the other two I'm pretty much fighting for playoff spots. But I'm on a 6-game slide, man, in the dynasty. And I got who is that I'm playing this week? Big Game James. Big Game James. I think I can get you, man.
No.
I got Antonio Brown. He's going to be heavily involved in the offense.
Don't do it.
That's one of my sleepers on my team. I think I'm going to play Antonio Brown. I do have Emmanuel Sanders, but Thomas is going to be back this week. So I already know what was going on in New Orleans, man. They may give him 20. They may give him 20 targets this week. You know what I'm saying? That may be what I'm up against there. But I think I can win with Antonio Brown and tenacious Terry McLaurin. And I guess Justin Jackson, man. Justin Jackson is that Charger team is up and down. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm flustered with fantasy this season. COVID got me all over the place, man. I was sitting there looking at my team Tuesday night, and all I could do was shake my head, bro. All I could do was shake my head. What do you have?
I got a few gems up my sleeve. I will start with that Jaguars game, and I'll say I think you should play Deshaun Watson. I know if you have two quarterbacks out there, you may say, well, I'm not playing Deshaun Watson. Look, he's going to get numbers this week. I guarantee it. That is the role player B guarantee. Okay? I'm going to start out with the role player B. I'm going to stay in the AFC South, and that running back for the Colts that came strictly off of the couch. Wilkins, man, he ran the ball extremely well last week. And it was a surprise especially for the Jonathan Taylor owners and the Hines owners. You know, Hines actually ran the ball well. But I believe Wilkins is going to at least push this thing to a 3-man race. Don't be surprised if he get touches. The season's getting long. Phillip Rivers' arm is getting weaker. They're going to have a run game and guys that can catch out of the backfield. Look for Wilkins because I know you're looking for guys to claim. Now, this Dolphins team, Gaskin is hurt. So you're looking at it.
So is Matt Breida.
Howard, you're looking at Breida because they're saying he's probably not going to play, but they haven't ruled him out yet. But there's this guy that they have out there that they are hyping up. And I don't know if I can believe the hype. But I'm going to tell you, if you are looking at Patrick Laird, you have lost your fantasy season. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you.
He was just put on COVID.
Laird?
Yeah.
COVID is a villain.
He just was put on COVID list this afternoon. COVID. That's why I say, it's this fantasy thing is going pretty hard. Now, COVID
is
I don't know, man. It's COVID is striking, and it's striking hard this week, man. I know the Bears had to shut down their facility.
Oh, man.
Miami shut down their facility. The Broncos shut down their facility. Kansas City shut down their facility, which that's one of the major fantasy games right there, because you have McCaffrey coming back in the fold.
Yeah.
So anyone who had Mike Davis need to have a seat. He need to have a seat and bring up McCaffrey, but you don't know what's going on with the practicing when you have to shut down your facilities. And that's hogwash, man. That's hogwash diddly poo when you tell me we have to virtually have practice. I mean, how the hell you do that?
Come on, man. You cut on Madden and you run some plays. You know better. Come on.
I just played, man, today.
This season is turning. Oh, man. You know what? Before I shift from fantasy football, I'm going to shift to that. But I'll say the last thing that I'll say is maybe look into the Seattle backfield, because they're banged up again. DJ Dallas had a pretty decent week last week, but Pete Carroll says don't sleep on Alex Collins. That might be someone that you need to add. So there are some guys out there that I think could make a difference. Don't forget that Chase Daniel's playing. He's playing for Matt COVID Stafford. You might have something there. I don't know. So, but like I said, transitioning from this fantasy mini voyage, because we really can't go out to sea with all the COVID out there. But hey, the thing that I fear the most is that Thanksgiving games are going to be a wash, man. I look forward to watching football from noon until midnight almost, man. I look forward to it. And I just don't know how it's going to go because of COVID. What if the Thanksgiving games, what if 2 of the games on Thanksgiving have to be moved? What a tragedy.
Well, I mean, they pretty much told you with San Fran and Green Bay that they're not moving games anymore. So that's why they're talking about adding the 8th playoff spot. And what's so crazy is this NFL season. So listen, I want you to hear me out. They're going to have to go to a playoff bubble. I know it sounds crazy because we're playing this season for seeding, but I thought about something. You cannot. We lost Kendrick Bourne yesterday. Okay, Wednesday he tested. Well, actually Tuesday night they did their contact tracing Wednesday. So Tuesday night after practice he tested positive for having symptoms of COVID. They was waiting for the confirmation to come down, and then they did contact tracing, which he had been involved with the whole starting wide receiver core for that game, which those guys had to miss. So can you imagine? Everyone loves Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Look how he flicks the ball. No, you won't see no flick of the wrist if he comes up with a positive testing during playoff time, brother. And he has to sit against the Pittsburgh Steelers and in come Matt Moore. And their season goes kaput like that. They're going to have to go to a playoff bubble, man. AFC is going to have to be, let's just say AFC is going to have to play in Miami. I'm just using this as an example. NFC may have to play in LA. All the playoff games. That's what's going to have to happen, brother. That's the only way they're going to be able to contain and make it fair competitive for the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't know, Jay. I don't know. Now, I mean, I hear what you're saying. But I don't know. Maybe they need to go back to Mexico. You know, they were doing the international games. Maybe that's where the bubble should be.
What?
Yeah. Why not? Like, why not go crazy?
No. You're going real crazy. You had a hard week
I
this
had an
week, man.
excellent week this week. This is a fully rested role player B, man. That's what this is.
Oh man.
Come on. Why not? Why not?
I don't know, brother. I don't know, man.
And
Mexico?
you're forgetting one thing. Going back to this, what if Pat Mahomes has a tickle in his throat? Chad Henne can take them to the promised land, okay? We've seen Nick Foles do it. Chad Henne can do it.
I thought the backup was Matt Moore.
I thought the backup was Chad Henne.
I think you're 2 years too late, brother.
I think I'm spot on. I think you don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure Matt Moore played last season, brother?
Brother.
When Mahomes missed games, Matt Moore played. Matt Moore came in, and he actually had an all right game.
Matt Moore no more. Okay? I'm telling you. It's gonna be your boy. Now I know a thing or two about a thing or two. It's Chad Henne. I'm looking dead at it. Number 4. He's a Jaguar legend because when they were trying to bully him around, it's funny. I can always find my Jaguars. When they were trying to bully him around one week, he was handling business. He was throwing guys to the ground. Okay, we're talking about defensive ends. He's not a pushover. He's not a slouch. But we all know that if Pat Mahomes goes down, Andy Reid's gonna steam that mask up. Because he's not gonna be able to win this. He's not gonna win that thing. He's not gonna win. But that's how serious this COVID thing is. It's very serious, you know? And it's putting guys out for 2 weeks and sometimes more. But with that being said, we actually have a guy coming back this week, and he's one of the best to do it in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Christian McCaffrey. Can we get him to come on down?
Yay!
Come on. Christian McCaffrey. They've been waiting on him in Panther Nation, man. This guy can change the course of the Panthers. He might can get them into that 8th playoff spot, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But it's going to be a good ride. And maybe they'll find just enough room for Mike Davis to slip into the game a time or two, you know? And this is going to give them another receiver. It's going to give them another receiver. I'm excited about this Panthers team, man. I don't know why. I can't wait to get back down there at the bank. I want to get into the bank and watch a game because this Panther team, and I know you may be thinking, well, you know, they lost last week and Teddy Bridgewater, man, just cut all of that out. Okay? Cut all that out. This is a different week, man. They're facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Sky's the limit. You're playing without limitations. You're going into the game with the loss in your column. When you have nothing to lose, well, then lose your mind, man. They can go crazy this week and all will be forgiven. But they have Christian McCaffrey back. And that's something I don't know the Chiefs can stop. Especially with the surging offense. And I know you're saying, oh, man, you're building them up because the offense is a surging. But it's a surging offense with Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Mike Davis, and Christian McCaffrey, man. I'm excited for the possibility of an upset this weekend. Now, I don't think it'll be an upset because I do not believe in the Panthers defense. Not quite yet. But I think offensively, I think they're going to surprise some people. Jay, what do you think? What do you think, Jay?
Wow. I mean, I think that this is going to be a tough game for the Panthers, man. I know they're getting Christian McCaffrey back, but you don't want to. You kind of want to work him in slowly. I mean, I know you're excited about Christian McCaffrey. You've been to see him day one. I have too, ever since his Stanford days. But I do believe that you're going to have to work him in slowly because you don't want him to blow another tire while not being 100% heat. So you're still going to get a little bit of Mike Davis. I think you need to do a little. You're gonna have to go full throttle against this Kansas City team. And I love watching Panther football. It's right down 85. I can go catch a game whenever my Niners on a bye, which I may do week 11, week 12, whenever that is. We're on a bye. I can't remember right now. I'm just still flustered and still the Walking Dead from last night. But I don't believe that the Panthers have enough offensive firepower to stop this Kansas City team, man. I think it's going to be a battle. But every step the Panthers make this season is a building point. So if the Panthers can push this Kansas City team, maybe a 31-30 loss, 27-26 loss, then that can bring them momentum for the second half of the season. Because we are gearing up. This is week 9, baby. We're gearing up into the second half of the season. Season flies by so fast, man. I think NFL, I would love to get like the NBA. See how the NBA's coming back, man. And now everyone's complaining about not having enough time. I just would love an overdose of football. Why football can't have 2 seasons back to back, brother? My wife wouldn't like that, man.
Oh, man, my lady.
She hates football Sunday, man. She's like, oh, Lord, it is football season. That's all you do is watch that football on Sunday. And I'm like, babe, honey bunch, butterscotch, sugar plum. You had me all COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You had me all COVID. We literally didn't have sports. We had, instead of having baseball season, because you go right into baseball, you'd be like, oh man, it's baseball season now, man. It's basketball season. Man, we had damn COVID season this year.
I think we should do a segment like that. Things to do are things that you have to do on the honeydew list during the off season of football. Because, man, I can't tell you how many Netflix shows I watched. And, I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, man, this is stupid. And then she cuts her big bunny eyes over at me and she's looking so happy and rosy cheeks. And it's just the glow of her spending time with me. She looks over at me and I give her back the Bugs Bunny googly eyes. And I'm thinking, oh, this show is fantastic. It's fantabulous. And then she looks back at the TV and I go right back to my pit of misery. My pit of misery watching these stupid shows. But, I mean, geez, man. Yeah, they had us all COVID, man. And now it's get back season, baby. I'm ready for all of the sports. I hope sports never end again.
Exactly. She stated something about going to a baby shower with her this weekend. I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, college football's going on tomorrow. Good luck. I hope you tell me about your baby shower.
Well, we're going to a baby shower too. We're seeing the birth of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. We gotta see this thing through. Okay.
Exactly.
We're seeing the adolescence of Tua. You can't miss this stuff, you know? They gotta understand that we're watching life's moments too. They say, hey, what about a trick-or-treat party? Well, hell, last weekend was full of a lot of tricks and treats. I just wanna have a moment. You know, they say, well, what are we gonna do on Thanksgiving? I'm gonna give thanks for the pigskin. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give thanks to the pigskin. They ask about Christmas, and I say, well, it's the gift that keeps giving. Football. That's all I want. Just football, man. And I'll take a little bit aside of basketball. Why not? I haven't seen my Orlando Magic in ages at this point. But yeah, man, I mean, I'll do it. I'll do it. But you know, you got any matchups out there, Jay? Before we get out of this thing, you got any matchups out there this weekend that the people need to pay attention to, man? What's out there? What's on the slate?
Oh, I mean, how could we miss the Sunday night game, which is New Orleans against Tampa? You know, they beat Tampa week 1. I mean, that's been so long ago. So much. I mean, it's only been 7 weeks, 8 weeks, but it seemed like it was a whole different season, correct? Because Tampa has been trending upward, and New Orleans is trending downward since that game. A lot has gone on in New Orleans. A lot has gone on in Tampa. I mean, for God's sake, Antonio Brown is actually living in Tom Brady's house. It's condo that he's renting from Derek Jeter while he's down there in Tampa. So I got to go with that matchup, and it's a low key sexy matchup. So if I tell you that a quarterback is 9-1 against the AFC East, who would you think that quarterback would be? All time.
I would think that's Russell Wilson.
You're exactly right. Russell Wilson will be going up against Buffalo, and Buffalo are high on themselves. They think that they have this division sold up. Miami is clicking on their heels, and that's a low key sexy game, man. Because Seattle really don't. I mean, they just have Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. They really don't have, anything special going on. Buffalo think they have a chance to win this game, and that's going to be played in Buffalo. Your little Orchard Park, whatever they call that stadium up there, whatever the name is, it is going down. That's a tough road game for Seattle, a tough home game for Buffalo with no fans.
Oh, man.
What about you, bro?
Well, I'm a Jaguars fan, so I'm actually slum diving this weekend. Of course, I'll be watching some Jaguar football, but I'm going to be paying attention to some of the lesser known or lesser exciting matchups. That New York Giants and the Washington football team, that's something I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I know you think I may be joking right now, but I'm really interested to see if Daniel Jones can get out of this funk, man. He really is trended downward. Now, I know that the Giants don't have a lot of talent, but he has to get out of this funk because the new flavor in the air is that NFL GMs are going to just start saying, hey, we gave you a try, and now we're going to draft another guy. That's really the new trend. So that I'm hearing, like I said, it's new flavor in the air. And between the two of those teams, someone has to win that game, not unless they tie. And then I'm going to be looking at the Miami Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals. Is Tua going to show up this game? Because he really stunk the first game. I'm going to just keep it 100, man. He stunk. I mean, he stunk to high heavens. It was like, wow, this is what we were concerned about with taking Tua. But again, they say now Brian Flores, he's talking about, no, we're not auditioning Tua to see if he's the guy before we take another guy. But it sure feels that way because if Tua continues to play like he played last week for the remainder of the season, he's not your guy. He's not your guy. I don't know who you could sell him to, but he's not your guy. Maybe you'll just keep 2 quarterbacks. Why not? I mean, would it really be that unheard of to have 2 young guns? Because every so often you do have a Washington at the time Redskins when they took RG3 and Kirk Cousins. They had 2 guys, young, ready to go. So I don't think it'll be unheard of. And then my last game that I'm going to be looking at, my last. Well, I'll make this 2 games. I'm going to look at that Pittsburgh and that Dallas game. Dallas, man, someone has to throw the ball more than 2 yards. DiNucci certainly is headed to the XFL. I don't even think that guy's allowed in the bar down there in Dallas. He stinks. 2 stunk, but he stank. He stank.
I actually like Garrett Gilbert.
I mean, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the quarterback situation. So, let's see if someone can throw the ball. And please, for heaven's sakes, I need Amari Cooper to have at least 20 points, at least 15. I'll lower the bar, 15. Throw the ball. And then I'm going to look at that Jets and Patriots game. The Jets are winless. They got very close one week against the Bills. And this is another divisional game. And they actually have a history of showing up on Monday night. I'm going to say that they may have a little competitive spirit and go out there and give this Patriots team a run for their money, especially with Cam Newton surging down. He's trending down, man. So I think that they may be able to pull a little Sly in the Family Stone and, get a win. Get a win.
I hope they I hope they do not win, man, because I do not want. I want the Sam Darnold to 49ers talk to disappear so fast.
Oh, well, then that's all the more reason to win. Come on, Sammy. Make it happen. Sam to the 49ers wouldn't be bad, man. He'll go in a Ryan Tannehill type role because he's not going to come in starting. I think out of all of the scenarios that I've heard, I actually like that one the most. Holding on to Jimmy G, bringing in Sam Darnold, and seeing what happens. Because I don't know.
Oh no, the one I heard, they would not hold on to Jimmy G. If they will remove Jimmy G and bring in Sam Darnold and draft a quarterback just in case he doesn't work out. That's what I've heard. I don't want Sam Darnold, man. I think he has too. Like I said, man, your own. Never take on somebody else's bad habits, man. When you marry into something, you taking on their baggage, wherever they come from.
Sammy Darnold. This is the same guy that led USC to absolutely nothing. He may be what we think he is. Nothing. Maybe he's something for you guys, though. But I don't know, man. I actually think he should. I think he should go and sit somewhere and not have the pressure, And maybe that's with you guys, all jokes aside. I think he should sit behind someone, and that may be his opportunity going back to the West Coast, I don't know, man. But one thing I do know is that we are your sports aficionados that sit on the couch but never pout. We are the role players and you are the stars. And we want to thank you for listening to this podcast. And hey, give us a review, give us a share, give us a tweet, give us whatever you got, man, because we love the Role Player Nation. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Prime, Spotify, iHeartRadio, several other platforms, including Spreaker, home of the Role Players. And just when you thought you had enough, find us on Facebook. The Facebook group is so engaging. Man, we have fun on there. Sometimes it's not even all about sports, man. Sometimes it's about movies, music. Sometimes it's about being a good time. That's all, man. Just a good time. And then mosey on over to Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at @TheRoll_Players. That's where we get down. Shoot us a DM, shoot us a tweet. And most of all, shoot us that sports knowledge. We like to hear from you guys. We love to hear from you guys. Without you guys, we are just guys bibbling, babbling, and rambling about what we do so well. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and you guys have an awesome, awesome sports weekend. We are out.